Welcome. Really glad to have you here. So it is a minute past the hour. We're going to jump right in. I'm not going to say much today, other than just to welcome everyone. I appreciate you joining today. My name is Sherry. I am the founder of Crevet and sponsor of this event. And we're just delighted today to have Doron Noyman, who is accomplished in many areas. He's a man of many talents. One of the things he's done is written a book on networking. And this is actually his second time addressing the Radical Projects Collective. We just really enjoyed his presentation last time and wanted to have him back. So with that said, I will turn it over to him. We will go, he'll talk until 5 minutes before the next hour, and we'll open up the last 5 minutes for Q&A. So if you have things that you want to ask in the middle, these are always very informal presentations. So if you would like to ask a question, drop it in the chat. I'll keep an eye on that along with Shahana and raise those as they come up. If you want to raise your hand, you can do that as well. And we can just stop in the middle and talk about what your question is. So with that said, Doron, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you. So I know we have a lot of people from different time zones. Some of you are just woke up, some of you are ready to go to sleep. But what I will ask you to do is actually to close your eyes for a second. Even if you're awake, close your eyes for a second and think about you dress really nice in a business suit and you're going for a networking event. And you go into this nice building, you open the door and you put your name on, and you open the door and you hear all these people talking, and you open these big doors and you stand there, and about 300 business people standing in front of you, and you have to come into the room and you have to network with people. So you feel your breathing just getting more and more heavier, and you see all these people talking, but you don't know anyone. I want you to open your eyes. What I will say that most people that go into networking events, when they come into the situation, and and there's exceptions, some people don't, but most people feel anxiety. This is what happened to me the first time I network. I got into this. I wanted I did study economics. I wanted to be work for the Federal Reserve, and I went to this banking professional networking event. And I opened the door, and there were about 300 business people standing in suit and business attire, and I didn't know anyone. And I froze. I totally froze. I couldn't even move. And then, I have a lucky stone in my pocket. I kind of hold it very hard. My palms were sweating. I decided if I don't do this step, we'll never make it. So I put a step in, I went in, and I started networking. Luckily, I met a gentleman named Marcus, and he welcomed me and started talking. And really, my level of anxiety helped me my level of anxiety to go down. And I start networking. Since then, I probably was maybe over 3,000 events that I participated in. So I have a lot of experience with networking. I want to share with you what is networking means to me and how you can build a great network and a group of people that around you, so will help you to grow your business. And if you have a business or you work for someone, to really take you to the next step, either it's in the next role, create successful project, or generating a lot of leads and growing your business. In which, if you many of you or you are self-employed or contractor, it will really help you to grow your business. I'm in banking, and I can tell you that probably in the last, I've been for many years in banking. I
Gonzalizo,
won't.
you're going to want to go on mute. Welcome.
So I won't. I won't tell you my age, but I can tell you that the last 3 decades, I probably brought over $1 billion in business just into my company, just for the bank, the credit union that I work for, just for networking, just for meeting people and people contact you and so forth. So I have a lot of experience in it. I want to share with you what really makes great networking, how you can take it to the next step for yourself. That's what makes sense. So why networking matters? Really, building a network is about building an authentic, long-term relationship that create trust and open doors. Mm, Also, we help you as we build a good network, help you to solve a lot of problem and connecting, give you some knowledge, resources, and support. And my experience and what I see that a lot of people that network, good networkers, have really great success in business and great successful in their personal life and career and a lot of fulfillment. I have a lot of great friends that I met through networking. So today we could talk about three objectives. One is to understand the nature of networking. What is networking? Why do you want to do it this certain way? Learn what tools and how you can do it. And once we do all this, we apply how we actually network to help you to grow and increase your influence. So one of the things that I see that most people treat networking as a transactional activity. If you do it in person and online, you look at it as a transaction. And because a lot of people looking at it as a very short-term gain rather than lasting value. You're looking at, oh, if you're self-employed, I want to get the project. How do I get it? What do I get out of the conversation? What do I get when I go to networking events? What do I get from it? This is the first thing people think about. What do I get from this event? Now it's different than you go to school and study and take a class and when you go into a class, you're really trying to get something from it. You're trying to get knowledge. But when you go to an event, you try to build a network, you have to shift your philosophy. A philosophy of what can I get from it? It's not the right philosophy when you network. So what thing about networking, it's not all about me. It's actually not anything about me. Of course, there's some point of it is about me, but when you all think about what's about me in networking, usually there's a failure and disappointment. I see people going in to get a job, to get a leads, and they're all thinking about how do I get it? And what happened, their mind filled with how do I get this job? How do I get this project? How do I get this mm, job? And all they think about how do I get it? So they miss the point of what is networking and how actually you can grow with networking because it's all about me. You have to shift it and say, it's not about me, it's about the other people. So there are five steps actually when we're talking about networking that I found very helpful to be successful. And I seen from what I did, from my experience on friends, they do it. Um, and one of the things that got me a lot of experience. I was very involved with the Chamber of Commerce, the different Chamber of Commerce. I was the chair of the board for the Silicon Valley Central Chamber of Commerce, and now I'm board member. Um, so we do a lot of networking. We meet with a lot of people that do a lot of networking, and I found out that those are some of the things that really help networking. I work with a lot of students, people that never network, and I track how they build a network and what is success rate. And those are the five steps I think that will help you to build lasting relationship and be successful. The first one is define your goal and craft your story. You have to know before you go to network, you have to know who you are and what you stand for. You set a goal, you need to make sure you have goals. And I think those are fundamental things that you make sure like who you are, what are your goals, and you craft a story about you creating values for others. When you go, it's like the same when you meet people, you want to see what kind of value you can build for that person. So again, from looking at it from point of like, it's not about me, it's about the other people. How do I take my story, who I am, and turn it into how do I build values for others? I like to share with you some practical uh, things, especially, and I understand that most people are project manager or at least in project management, correct? Okay. So great. So one of the things when I go to a networking event and I meet someone, let's say that I was a project manager and I met someone, and the first thing I will say is like, my name is Doron and I'm a project manager. And so this is the way I introduce myself. However, if I come in and I say, my name is Doron, I'm a project manager, but passionate about turning complex challenges into clear, actionable plans, makes a difference. Really, if you tell someone tell me that who they are and what they stand for me, like, wow, I'll be very impressed. Rather than say I'm a project manager and I work on projects. It doesn't really mean a lot to me. But if I say I stand for collaboration, transparency, and deliver results that last, it's really impressive. I know when I deal with when I meet someone like this that tell me about who they are and what they stand for, I value it. I really appreciate. I know this person is first of all is professional. Is very they're gonna be if they're not successful, they're gonna be successful. They prepare themselves. They know who they are and they're very confident. And I think it's very important. Now it takes time to do it. I think it'd be great. Everyone, you have to do your homework before you go. And I will go into it back into it, but I just finished law school, and one of the first things that they told me, I'd say the first class, my professor was a Professor Kadambi, and she told the whole class, proper preparation prevent poor performance, and it stuck with me the whole time because it's like it's really true. If you go to anywhere and you're not prepared, you're not ready, it's lead you to a failure. And I'm going to go back to it later in a later stage of the presentation. But I think it's very important. You have to prepare. Going just to meet people because you want to grow your business and you want to grow your business, just to meet people, it's like no purpose to it. It's like very wandering generality. You become a wandering generality when you go to these events because there's no really focus. But first, when you know who you are and what you stand for, it's starting really to help you to get focus. So I introduced myself and I said, I know what my goal. Everyone has different goals. I just give you examples. It's like my goal is to build stronger cross-departmental relationship to reduce miscommunication if you work for a company. Or my goal is to connect with industry peers to learn new strategy for managing project risk. I tell them, beside what would I am, what my goals are, and you can craft. I mean, something you have to work, and you can do it with different tools. You can really set your what your goals are, what your goals, what are your or you stand for, and you craft the story. And this is very important. You need to make sure you have your story. Help teams stay aligned, so every stakeholder feel heard and every project stay on track. Now, what happened when let's say I met you met me, and I tell you that you say ask people ask me what do you do, what do you do, and I say I tell them I help people to stay aligned and to every stakeholder to feel heard and every project stay on track. It's very focused. I mean, I know that this person, the project manager, they have a goal and they have a story. I mean that they have something that they bring value out of. Bring people together, bridge gap between technical and business team to achieve success. And what happened, let's say, and you have to practice this because it takes some time. Doesn't mean that you're going to do it right away. But I can tell you, one of the things I did for my business is I stood in front of the mirror and I practiced for a long time. I practiced again, again, again. What are my goals? And my goals change all the time. It doesn't mean that I have the same goal because depend on the stage of life, depend on what you do, depend maybe you have a different project, your goals can change. However, your story most of the time stay the same. You help people. How you help them. And when I say to someone, I bring people together, bridging gaps between technical and business teams to achieve success. What will happen when you tell to someone, the first thing come to my mind is like, oh wow, I want to know more. I want to talk with this person because something very interesting. And people will ask me, if you said to someone, this is what I do, the next question going to be, I can guarantee the next question going to be is like, how do you close this gap? Now you open the channel for them to talk with you. If I just come and say, my name is Doron, I'm a project manager, and I create project and help people with projects, okay, so what? Now, if I say I bridge gaps between technical and business team to achieve success, I want to know how you do it. I really want to know how you do it. You create some curiosity. First, you help people, and then you create curiosity. So it's important for you to have this practice, have it, write it. I would say write it down. Don't you think? in your head, but write those things down. Your goals, who you are, what you stand for, and your story, write it down and practice it. Sometimes it may not come out the same way you want it because you have to practice. But once you really work on it, you will find out that this comes very naturally. And especially if you do it and you really help people, it will come very natural. And people will be very curious. What will happen? You create curiosity because now you can help someone with some problem that they have. And you can actually put the ball in their court and they will say, wow, I see some value there. I see a serious person that is a professional and they can help. So this is the first step that you do. The next step is seek up opportunity and prepare with purpose. So networking happen everywhere. People are mistaken the fact that networking only be like what I described to you before when you go to a place and you meet all these business people and you meet they're all in suits and ties and dresses for success. It happens everywhere. I'm always ready. Meet people in the supermarket, at the gym, at the street. I always meet people about and I'm ready. I'm ready because for me, I look at everything as a networking opportunity. How do I build my network? How do I build value for everyone? So you never know. Sometimes the best connections will happen when you're not expected. When you walk in the street, when you walk in the supermarket, I always try to get to look not so formal, but I always, when I go out of the house, I make sure that I look presentable because you never know who you meet. And it happened to me many times when least expected it in a coffee place. When I went to get coffee, I met people and they were great networking. I networked with someone. Prepare question to be intentional, listen more than you talk. What happened many times when we go for networking events and we meet people, it just we always think when we think about ourselves, when we meet people, what happened is brain shut down. And what it means shut down is that we cannot listen to others. When you think about yourself, your ears cannot hear anything. So what happened? People will meet. I will meet Sherry, and I say, "How are you?" And start the conversation with her all the time. What my brain will do is will shut down with Sherry talking to me because all I think about is like how I'm going to sell Sherry. I'm going to get Sherry to give me her next project. This is all I think about. So what happened? You don't listen to people. When you start talking about other people, your brain does not shut off because you're very focused and listening to them and listening very intently about what they're talking about. Look for cross-functional opportunity to connect and build rapport. Always, it's about building rapport. So,
Doron,
there,
can you
yes.
go back? We had a question. Bhavedas
Mhm.
asked if you can elaborate on the cross-functional opportunities a little bit.
Cross-functional opportunity is being not just being in your industry. So most time people will go to only. We'll give you example again. Um, if I'm in banking, right? So I'm in banking, I will only go to a banking opportunity to where I see banking, there's a banking opportunity. But a lot of the times I will go to a different event. If it's technology, environment, if it's a social cause, different functions rather than just one that is has to do specific for the area that I'm focused on. So it's not going to be just banking. It's going to be Chamber of Commerce is a great idea. It's a cross-functional. I mean, there's people coming from different areas, and you can work. You can talk with people that coming from different industries. So it's not just focus on your industry only. That's what I mean when I talk about cross-functional opportunities. Hope it makes sense. So step two is the questions. Many times we stuck in question. I always remember many years ago I decided to take a group of students with me to a networking event. Um, and the first thing that we came to the door, someone asked me, "What should I ask today?" What the question I ask? People just don't know what to ask. So you need to have things. You have to. I will say you have to have your library of questions that you comfortable with. Instead of saying to people, what do you do? What job are you in? What industry are you in? I always ask people, what brought you into this event today? How did you hear about this event? Now you want to do open-ended question, not closed-end questions, because closed-end question, I will just like be yes or no answer. Open-ended question really will help you to open the conversation. And it's all help you to actually kind of lower the guard of people rather than because people think that first thing people think is that, oh, I want something from them. So, what it's asking people, if we do the introduction. Let's say we do the introduction. I told them about myself a little bit, what I do, how I help people. I will ask people, what are you working on today? What really excites you about, and what excites you about it? And you'll be surprised how people open and start talking about it. What's one trend you noticed in your industry lately? Some questions that you can really show curiosity about that person. You know, What do you enjoy most about your work? I like to ask, what do you enjoy most about your work, and what is something very exciting thing you're working on? I mean, I like to ask because when you talk about people, what do you enjoy most about your work? I will tell them, I'm not a project manager, and I work with a lot of project managers. In my job, we have project managers, but I want to understand sometimes I have to look at from the other side. I say, what do you enjoy most about your work? For me to understand how to work with a project manager, I will tell them, for me to understand how to work with a project manager, I would like to understand better, what do you enjoy most about your work? You'll be surprised what people tell you. I mean, just because now you bring the ball into your court, their court, and they take the ball and they play with it, and they tell you a lot of things. And when they tell you those things, you need to listen because you're going to get a lot of different clues to what they're looking for, what they like, who is the person you're dealing with. It gives you a lot of information. And what your job is to really get this information, to ask the right questions and get the information. The step three is start the conversation. Lead with your curiosity, not request. I found out that especially people that don't have a lot of experience with networking, they start with right away, oh, do you know anyone that has a project that I can do? If you heard about anyone that has a project, let me know about it and I can help them. So what happened is that you just when you say this, oh, I'm looking for a job. I'm out of job for a couple of months. I'm looking for a job. Uh, if you know anyone that's looking for a job, please let me know. People say it right on the front when they start conversation with someone. That's the end of your relationship right there. You end your relationship. You will never get. I mean, when people come in, I will guarantee you, people come into events and they're looking for a job, they're looking for a business, they never will get it because what happened, not that you shouldn't, but it's not going to be your first priority because you can get it. And people that you don't know are not going to give you a job, not going to give you any business. Business build on trust, and if there's no trust there, why should we go with you? So you need to make sure that when you have to focus on the other person's story, and you have to remember it. Now you have to practice on how to really build your memory to remember what people talking with. So some of the things that I do is I talk with people. I develop a very good memory, so I remember many things about people. Try to remember Mm, names. I mean, I remember faces, but I have problems with names. So I found a way to remember people's name. Let's say I will come to an event and I will meet Sherry, and I say, I start talking, and she said her name is Sherry. For me, an easy way to remember Sherry is wanted to say, maybe she has a very nice, she come with a nice suit. So I said, oh, this is wonderful. This is really nice suit. And, where did you purchase it recently? Or, something that I always look for something kind of this suit. So I remember Sherry, it was a suit. She will tell me, yeah, I went to Nordstrom, I bought a Nordstrom. So I remember I associate Sherry now with Nordstrom, but I also will say Sherry, oh, Sherry, you know what? My best friend's sister's name is Sherry. So now what happened? I do association on these things. So I remember Sherry. I remember a nice jacket she had. She bought it at Nordstrom. I remember something very about Sherry. Now I remember the name Sherry, but it takes practice. You will have to find your own way. So I remember Sherry buy nice clothing, and she go to Nordstrom. She's a project. She does project management. I start building the whole case. Who's Sherry? Now it give me something that if you go to LinkedIn, it won't tell you about Sherry. So you know some things about Sherry. You start getting all this information about Sherry because you're building relationship with Sherry. It's about, I will say it's very similar to dating. When you start dating someone, I never seen someone that proposed on a first date. They go and have a date, and then they say, "Well, I'm proposing." I mean, maybe happen, but it doesn't happen usually. You don't propose on first date. You learn about the person. You build a relationship. You understand who is the person. So, I will say that you need to make sure that you understand who is the person. You find something that's very unique to the person, and this is the way you start building who is the person and information about them that will help you to build relationship. And I ask people when I speak with people and I have a good conversation, I ask for them, what success look for you? You know, what success look for as a project manager? What success look for a banker? What success look for a writer, an artist, whatever a person? I ask them, what success look for you? They will let you know, and when they let you know, they will give you really good information about where you'll be able to fit into their life. And some people you may not be able to fit in the life. But let's say that I speak with Sherry and I say, Sherry, and she said, I'm a project manager and I help people to 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 bridge the gap uh, between technology and timelines and skills. It stuck with me. I know about Sherry. Now when I have a project coming up and I have to install some very complicated software. Remember Sherry because Sherry told me that she can actually close the gap between technology and really better understanding how to do it on project manager. Now it's something come up. I said, "Oh, I met Sherry before. I know she's an expert in it." So I will contact her. Now she put herself as she said to me, my success was to make sure that I deliver projects on time, very efficient, and that everyone that went to the project that I built have a good understanding how the system works. And I want to make sure this is my one of biggest priorities is for me to understand that people understood what is the technology that involved and how to implement it. It's great. Now I know if I need something like this, I will go to Sherry because Sherry, her goal, her success is to make sure that I be successful in my implementation. But once we did this, and again, I do it very, we have very short time to it. But once you network with people, you talk, you hear more than you talk. You listen to people, you get the information, you learn about the people that you met. Sometimes I take notes. Sometimes I will go. I don't like to use much of my phone and networking. I see people using their phone and networking a lot. Either they don't talk with anyone, or they're looking for someone's LinkedIn profile to see, oh, what is the person does. They're looking at LinkedIn profile right away. Usually what I do is I connect with people right away. I ask people when I on if you have a LinkedIn, I said, would you mind to connect to LinkedIn? And I connect in LinkedIn with them right away. So I have the information right away. I know who connect with me on LinkedIn. But I usually do not use my phone. I try to maximize the time that I have to meet people and so forth. So I connect if you don't know how to connect on LinkedIn very quickly, on the search bar, you can pull you can look when you put your name on the search bar, actually there's a picture of like a barcode. So you can actually scan their name and it will connect to you. You can Google it or AI it and it will get you how to do it, but it's very easy. So once you're done with the network, Yeah. Any question, by the way,
Yeah,
right now?
I was going
Yeah.
to jump in. I didn't want to interrupt you. So, we have a question. Do you have strategies for the about section in LinkedIn, to improve how people to improve networking and how people respond to you when you reach out on LinkedIn?
I'm sorry. Can you expand and
It's
then?
it's about how to set up your about section in your LinkedIn profile to improve your ability to get those connections.
Okay.
Thank you for
Okay.
that.
I'm
Go
gonna go.
ahead.
Yeah. I'm gonna talk about it in a few minutes.
Okay.
And thank you, Gloria, for connecting on LinkedIn. Appreciate it. Um. So I will talk about it in a few minutes toward the end. So I want to go over the steps first and strategy, and then we talk about some of the technology. Follow up. Follow up is super important. If you don't follow up with people, you lose the whole effect of meeting people. Follow up with everyone, and there are different ways to follow up. One is a follow up between 24 hours to 48 hours with a thank you. It was really nice meeting you, and I'm going to show you in a minute. It was really nice meeting you at the events. If anything I can do to help you, please let me know because I bring something. I always remember something about them, and I bring it in the conversation. You know, I will say to Sherry, thank you, Sherry. Thank you so much for connecting. I really appreciate you sharing what makes success for you, make a successful uh, project manager. I never knew about it, so really thank you for the overview. Uh, and know that if I would like to buy this kind of jacket, I'm gonna go to Nordstrom because it's a beautiful jacket. Now, wow, this is something. And would it be okay if we can continue and update you to my progress of what we do? Can we stay connected in LinkedIn? No one said to me, no, I don't know, I don't want to stay connected with you. People most of the time say, yeah, of course, let's stay connected. Here you start the conversation. I also many times people, if they give you business cards, I send handwritten note. I love sending because what happened today with emails, people do not get mail. So I always say, I have a thank you note. I send a thank you note, and people appreciate that. I get so many people to contact me and say, thank you so much for sending me that. I didn't get mail for like 5 years now, and suddenly I get a thank you note. This is so nice. It's a different touch. Now they remember me for this. And I don't ask him for a business in it. I don't ask him anything. I just say thank you. It was very nice meeting you. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next event. It's my business card in there. And I say anything I can do to help to grow your business, please let me know. Get a lot of response from this. So you do something different that differentiate you from other people. Now you start building the relationship. Now people remember you. Share resources, articles, and ideas. If I have a network, a large network, and I if I see something that if a job opening or any project that needs to be done or anything that I can share with someone that I know, I will share it. And I'll show you in a few minutes. I talk about some of the things. How do I manage it? Because I think managing it become easier those days with AI, and I can share with you how I manage this. But I share with them ideas, I share things so and people appreciate them. I don't spam them too much, but once in a while I do send something to remind them, hey, I'm here. I always most of the time I say happy birthday if they have a new job. And LinkedIn is a wonderful CRM that can help you to stay connected with people. Um, if I know someone has a birthday and I go to events and I know they're gonna be there, and get the $5 Starbucks card with a happy birthday card, like very small that I can put in my jacket, a card, thank you card, a happy birthday card. And I meet him at the event and I'll bring him a happy birthday card with $5 Starbucks card. I can't tell you how much business I got from it. It's a very small gesture that goes a long way. It's about consideration. When was the last time someone, when you went to events groups that you go all the time to, and it's not online, but in person. I talk a lot about person because I do a lot in person, or even online. You send someone a $5 Starbucks card and say happy birthday, or Amazon. So it's something. It's a consideration. People remain. It's about how people remember you because when something come in your industry that you will need to compete as far as being a project manager for this if you have your own business, they will remember you. It's about staying up in front of them and really be helpful. Reinforce trust with timely update. I send people update about stuff that I know. I keep track of things, and if I do something that I think will be important to someone, I will send them update. The follow up is very important. So this is give you some idea about sending a very short note to someone. Happy Friday. It was great meeting you at the Tech Leadership Summit. I really enjoy your conversation about the project and streamline cross-departmental communication with new collaboration platform. If there's ever a way I can be of help, don't hesitate to reach out. I'll be happy to share my experience and resources. I would love to stay in touch and update you on a project I'm working on around team workflow automation, which might be interest to you. This is very simple, and you can use it. I mean, I'm going to go into AI in a few minutes, but you can use AI to craft something. But make sure you give them the information in it. Don't just say, yeah, say a thank you note to the person because the AI doesn't know who you met and what they met. You bring something that was in the conversation. You have to remember it, or you record a note or remember it, and you bring it to conversation. And I will send it, and it'll be wonderful because now they have a message. They know what you can share, what you can offer them. This is the fourth step. The fifth step is nature your work, work network, and give back. Focus on giving more than talking. Celebrate other success and support their goals. If you support other people's goals and success, you'll be successful. And this is my experience. Many times I try to help people to grow their business because when they grow the business, at some point my business will grow. My department will do better. My project will be better. Share lesson learn and connect colleagues and resources. I connect a lot of people together, resources. I work a lot with nonprofit organizations. I'm a chair of the board for an organization called Sunday Friends, and we help underserved families to break the cycle of poverty. And so there's a lot. You connect a lot of people with a lot of different resources, and I like to do it because when I connect people, meet a lot of people. It's about how many people you meet and how many people you build good network. And this is how I grow my network. It's not about just taking. I'm trying to give as much as I can. And when you give a lot, you get. I mean, my philosophy many years, someone told me, if your hand is like this, you can't get them. If your hand is like this, you give and you can take. If your hand is like this, you can't give or you don't take. So you need to make sure that you always give back as much as you can. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes when you have no leads, you have to grow your business. You have a pressure from your boss. It sometimes can be hard. But if you stick really to true networking, how to do it the right way, you will prosper. You'll be very successful because at the end of the day, it's building relationship are not built under pressure. Relationship are built under building trust, and it takes time. So those are the five steps that actually will help you. If you prepare and you come prepared, now it takes some time, but if you prepare and you know how to do it, it will decrease your anxiety about networking. Actually, I enjoy networking very much. I like to go to a lot of events. I like to meet people. It's a challenge in a way because I want to make sure I can help as many people as I can. So, and once you practice it a lot, it become a second habit. It really has become a second. It flows easily. In the beginning, it was very hard because I had to practice. Doesn't mean that I'm perfect in it, but I will say that and I know how to handle myself in different situation and how to communicate people to build trust and make sure that I can help. So I talk about five circles of networking. The five circles of networking. If you start building your network, the way to start is actually your inner circle, your trusted allies. It's your team, your close mentors, your family. You start building your network with the first circle around you. once you build this and you connect with your friends on classmate on alumni, you connect it on LinkedIn or you meet them, then you can start going into familiar circle, cross functional peers in a different. If you work in a company, let's say you build the connection with people that work in your department only. If you work in IT or you work in any department, you work in operation, you build with the people around. Now you go into different department. You start building connection with people in the company in different departments. If it's engineering, if it's HR, you actually build the connection. Once you build within the very close connection, if it's a company or if it's uh, your peers, then you start professional circle, vendors, supervisors, and clients. Now you're looking at outside. You're looking at who are the vendors, who I'm working with, who are my clients, how do I build the next circle? And extended circle is industry peers, people that are in your industry, but you don't know them. So you can ask them to be your mentor. Maybe you see the nice post that they put about project management or something that interests you. You comment on it and you comment and you say, hey, I found it very interesting. Not just a great article. Is comment really put some substance in it. This is wonderful information. Thank you. Really helped me by doing learning about this system. I really appreciate because it gave me some idea about a problem that I had for a long time and I tried to figure out, but this is a great resource. I really appreciate. Do you mind if we connect? Really like the way what you post in LinkedIn. Now you start building relationship with extended people in the industry. Conference, you go to conference, if you go to conferences, build the network with people in conferences. I go to a lot of conferences, so I meet a lot of people. And aspirational circle, once you build a network, now you start looking at leaders, at thought leaders, at people that are really at the top of the industry. So I met many times that meet people that I get so many requests on LinkedIn uh, from people that have two people or they have nothing on LinkedIn. They have the LinkedIn is very bare. There's nothing there, and they want to meet with you, and they're adding no value at all. They're just spamming. The same thing when you go to a meeting and you want to make sure that when you wouldn't go to someone that is very high in your industry. You don't go to the CEO right away and build a connection. However, if you have some credibility already and people know you, then it's easy to go. If I go to a CEO of a company and I talk with them and I say, "Oh, I met Sherry, and Sherry is a uh, your contact as well, and I know you work a lot with Sherry. I know Sherry for a long time. It's really no, Sherry does great things for her community, and it's very impressive what she does for the community. Now I have a common ground to talk with this person. So now it's easier for me to start building the relationship with that person rather than say, "Oh, I'm the Ron, and this is what I do," and it's less than less substance there when you open the relationship. So when you go to these people that are very in their top of the industry, you need to make sure you have something common, you have something substantial to give them so they will appreciate and be your contact. So those are the five circles of networking. So let's go to networking in the age of AI, and I just want to make sure I'm on time. On time, we have enough time to talk about it. So I think that someone asked about LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a wonderful tool. I think it's I use LinkedIn all the time. It's a wonderful tool to connect people. It's not the only thing, but it's a wonderful way to show who you are. Make sure you have a great profile. I mean, I think there are a lot of videos in YouTube on other resources to build a great profile. Um, so when you put the about you, is really it's about what you do, who you stand for, what your goals are, but people know that who you are when you think about who you are and what you stand, what your experience and what you stand for. This is what the about section in when you have in LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a little bit different. So networking online and networking in person are a little bit different. I mean, they have the same purpose to grow your network, build trust. but you have more time when you meet someone in person. You're not going to go about the whole about me section and tell them all the story about you. There's no time because you have a lot of people around. You want to meet a lot of people. But LinkedIn, asked about it, you could actually have enough time to craft something about you that will stand out, who you are, what you do, and how you contribute to others. This is when you do your about you can use any AI software. I will say if you put your information into it, if it's GPT or Claude or uh, Gemini, I think I'm not going to endorse any of those, but I mean, I think they're all pretty similar about some of the things that they write. I mean, I like GPT and Claude for writing because I think it gives you good good way of putting it, but you have to learn about some prompt and I'm not an expert, I was a technical expert, so but I look at videos and so forth and put but I use something again, it takes some time to put it together, but I put something together, use the eye, and make sure that I read it. I let other people read it too. One of the things that I do is I let my wife read it. Sometimes I let some of the employees that I work read it to make sure that it's really you has some human touch to it, and it's compelling. It doesn't sound very technical, too technical. So I let other people read it and give me a feedback. I think it's very important. We forget about it, but I share people. Sometimes I ask people that I know, say, "Hey, do you mind let me know if my about section or what something I write sound okay?" And I get a lot of feedback about things. So about this, it's part of my network that I built. So it's really helpful. Sometimes I know some people that are professional writers. Sometimes I use professional writer. I kind of many times bargain. I mean, I'll do something for them, they will do something for me, and then sometimes I pay for it for something, but most of the time I do a lot of giving back on these things. But I let people read some stuff that I write to make sure that it sound okay. So I give you example. What nice about AI, it's again use AI to strengthen relationship. It doesn't replace them. Just because you have AI doesn't mean that you don't have to do the relationship. People are mistaken. People think that now I have AI, I don't have to build a relationship. You still have to build trust. You still have to build relationship with people. You can use AI to craft answers to make it sound better. But always remember when you got to a point when you meet people in person, you need to make sure that what you put in I mean, suddenly they think, oh my God, this person is really smart. They put all this stuff in AI, all the answer and all this. And then when they meet you, the person stuck. They can't even say anything in Zoom calls or any. They start the project. So I mean, make sure don't you mislead people. AI is a great tool to help you to polish things, but be genuine about it. It's always about genuine about things. About you know, it's about really building the trust, who you are, and what you can bring to the table. AI is a tool that help you, like email. Email is a tool to help you to communicate, but it doesn't replace the one-on-one conversation. It's another tool to help you to be more efficient and communicate. Many times when I go to events and I use AI to prepare. And how do you use AI to prepare? So if I know what people coming to the event, I will go to, let's say I go GPT, ChatGPT, and I have projects. I create a project for this event. And I said this event. And I maybe I have some events actually give you the list of who attending. So it's very easy because I know the people. I actually go person by person and put a file and get all the information. I will say to GPT, this information, this is the link in LinkedIn. Get me the information. I look at the link, I look what the project that they're working on. I really find a lot of information about this person. So when I meet them, I have something to talk about. And I always put a note, put three things that are very interesting about this person, are very unique. And it will put you get all the information about the person. And I said, what are the three things that they're working on right now? What is very interesting about them? And I will find out something very maybe some people have found out that are beside LinkedIn, I go into the internet and see what information. There are car collectors. They like old cars. Doesn't mean that I go far away and I say, "Hey Sherry, I know I saw you like old cars, right?" I will steer the conversation into, what are your hobbies? It's something that you like to do. And they will say, "Oh yeah, I do some cars and so forth." You want to make sure you ask them. I asked them, "Oh, would you participate in this event that happened? I know this about hot rods event that happened in Virginia. Did you ever participate in it?" Start to kind of build a relationship. You start the conversation. It's a great conversation starter because you have the information. Review the person profile and background. Identify share connection and interest. I like to see who are our share connections. I think it's important because I will ask them, "Oh, do you know this person? Do you know?" Now, this is a little bit tricky because what happened in LinkedIn, sometimes people just connect a lot of people and they don't know them. So you need to make sure there's some commonality. And you say, "Oh, I know this." You say, "Oh, I know Sherry." And you say, "Oh, Sherry." And also, Sherry, I saw she connected with you at LinkedIn. You wouldn't know Sherry, but you need to make sure that there's something common there. Identify share connection, interest. Learn about the company and recent news. I I learn about really trying to understand companies. Now it's a lot of information, so you need to kind of limit it to what you take with you to the event. But it's something to 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 look at and remember before you go. Prepare three thoughtful questions. Summarize this person, example for prompt. Summarize this person LinkedIn profile and suggest three good networking questions I can ask. It will bring it to you and it tell you what I can ask them. So if Sherry is in a car, she start telling me about the cars, I kind of had an idea of say, "Oh wow, I see, what do you like about cars from the 70s or the 80s? What is your favorite car?" And just example, but it's an open a way for you to really give you a tool to understand what question to ask. AI improve preparation. So as I build a project on each networking event that I go to, and I actually updated what people I met, what connection I made in that project, I can always actually cross reference to different other networking events that I go to, see what they attend. I mean, it's really given me a lot of information about the person, about what they like, what they do, and how can I be a help for them. It's all I always the big thing that I put in AI is like how with my skills and my network, I can be helpful to that person. I don't ask, I rarely ask, how can I sell them? Because it doesn't mean anything. But if you say, how can I be helpful to this person? Found a lot of great ways of helping people. And you'll be surprised many things you can come up and say, "Oh, this person need help in this person need help in this." And you help them and we help them one thing, and you never know. This led to another thing. Suddenly you're a project manager for them. Or you get a lead from them, or they say, "Oh, I have a friend that does this. Can I connect you with them?" So always ask, how can I help this person to be successful? And again, preparation improve conversation, and conversation build relationship. It's about real building. It's all about building relationship. If I always look at this as if I met this person face to face, with to interact. How can I help them for us to build a better relationship? And I think if you're going out of this starting point, you'll be very successful in building your network. I use GPT as my CRM. I use LinkedIn and GPT. I use Claude too. But again, crafting, for every event, I will all the answers that I sent in LinkedIn, I will craft it and I make sure it's correct. And when I correct it and I think it's sound okay, I will put it back in LinkedIn in GPT and say this is what I'm going to use. So I have a big database on how to really work with networking, how I work with a person. And if I need to go and pull a specific person, I just go and say, look at all the projects, look at all the networking events. I met with this person, and then I get the information, and then I can build a profile, like a good CRM profile about this person. So and you can, again, not an, I would say I'm not an expert AI expert, but there's a lot of opportunities that you build to work with conjunction with LinkedIn and your GPT or AI tool that you like prefer to work with. So I see we have,
Ron,
yeah,
we're at 56 minutes past the hour, so
okay,
we are we at a point where we can get into Q&A? And I have actually one question that I missed from
yeah,
a few minutes ago.
yeah.
Can you back up to the five circles? The question is does the number of contacts in each circle go down as you move from one to five?
Well, yeah, yeah. You have less CEO in the world than you have less CEOs and thought leaders in the industry than you have people that just started it or in a mid level. So yeah, well, in a way, it go down. However, it doesn't mean that when you go to the circles, you go to from one to two to three to four to five, you still don't work on number four and number three. You always work all circles. Okay. If you have been people getting married, people having new family members, people having new friends. So yeah, I always work. It's accumulation, but again, it's not elimination. I mean that you don't eliminate because you went to from one to two. You don't look at number one anymore. Okay. Yeah, you have people meeting people. So it's for the way I look when I get to five, I still look at everyone because you never know from who you're gonna get your next lead or your next contact. So don't say, "Oh, I'm so good now that I don't have to deal with my family." Then you move ahead, but people get married, suddenly some new family member coming into the picture, new friends. My brothers have friends that I meet, so they introduce me to them. So it's I would say it's a combination. But definitely there are less people in the inspirational circle.
Are there
Any
any?
other
Oh, go ahead.
any other questions? Yeah, that's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Gloria's question about LinkedIn, she asked previously.
Yeah, I think Gloria and if you want to ask it again, it's about you ask about, right? The about section.
Yeah.
And I think I
You
Yeah.
know,
think I
actually,
went
do you mind if I jump in on that?
Mhm.
Because as Gloria, when you asked that question, I thought, oh, there's so much here. It's actually kind of a hard question.
Yeah,
And I'm thinking that might be a good topic for like a live chat in a follow-up event that we do to this. And so if there's some interest, I'm trying to gauge if there's a little bit of interest there to see, there's a lot to actually using LinkedIn and thinking about how you do outreach if that's something that you want to do. I definitely think that the in-person is really important, but we have more limited opportunities for that sometimes.
yeah,
And so, yeah, just for the group, if that's something that would be of interest, we can put together a follow-on event and get into some of the mechanics of using
yeah.
LinkedIn for networking. Okay,
LinkedIn,
a couple
yeah,
of people for
LinkedIn,
Thank you.
people.
LinkedIn is great. I mean, I use LinkedIn. I mean, once you master it, you really can build a good network on LinkedIn. There are different tools, different ways of doing it. Uh, it takes time, but definitely I used LinkedIn for many years, and I use different tools to make sure that you can build a good network and present yourself, and it changes all the time. It's a changing thing. So definitely, it's a good tool.
I wish we could keep going. It's always so good to hear from you, Doron. We learn,
Thank you.
and it's so clear and actionable and
Yeah,
helpful, and I
yeah.
really appreciate your time.
Yes.
Um,
So and
yeah, go ahead.
anyone want yeah, so anyone wants to connect me on LinkedIn, this is my LinkedIn. More than welcome to connect me on LinkedIn. I will accept your invitation. Just like make sure that I don't see the names, everyone. So let me know that you were in the session, and I would definitely like to connect with you.
Thank you so much. For everyone, I mentioned, the chat will be available that you can download in the lobby, and you get to the lobby by just clicking on this invitation. And you can get there for a year and see the recording. It will be posted within 24 hours. And I really appreciate you joining today and sharing your time with us. And again, thank you, Doron, and everyone enjoy the rest of your Friday.
Great. Thank you so much. Nice meeting
Bye
you. Thank you.
bye.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Thank you.